And we're up to round 4, heat number 2. FPVSlacker, Hazardfpv, MrGeekFPV, and danboymanboy out there on the track placing their quads. You see them over there on the left-hand side of the picture there. A little bit of a breeze is kicked up here. You can see the flags are flying around. Nothing that's going to make it too difficult for those guys out there. Anything other than still air there, you're going to have to adjust for it somewhat. Let's just go back to the race day standings here and look at who is in this race. And it's going to be Mr. Geek looking to continue his perfect day here. danboymanboy in the race, not in contention with this one. If we go up to the season standings, though, there's where your race is. It's Mr. Geek and danboymanboy, now with a spread of 18 points each, so it's either extend or shrink the lead, depending how we finish on this one. So we're back to the flight line now. We've got the pilots with their quads placed, and they're getting ready to get this thing underway. And the bell sounds, the quads are into the air. 4 pilots flying. FPVSlacker's got his video back up. It's still a little bit on the gray side. At least you can see where he's going. Back in the 1960s there with a black and white TV set as he goes. 3 quads. Pretty close to each other there. It's kind of a jumble out there when you're looking at the track from one perspective. But there's Hazardfpv going through the corkscrew there. danboymanboy finishing it up as well. And it's Mr. Geek through the gate first. Excuse me, it's Hazard through the gate first, then Mr. Geek second, danboymanboy third. That is a less than 5-second spread between the 3 of them there. So a very tight race. As I said earlier, they're knotted up there. Just a big jumble of quads flying up and through gates all over the place there. FPVSlacker still waiting to finish his first lap. Hazardfpv picking up the pace there now. 28.048 seconds on that one. Mr. Geek slightly behind him. That one about 3-second spread now. danboymanboy out of the race as he is collided with something. He's up and out of his chair now. FPVSlacker still working on that first lap out there. Slow and steady. There's a little bit of contact. It's Hazardfpv. Looks like he hit FPVSlacker. It just barely moved him. He kept just right on going. Slow, steady. And Hazardfpv is stirring up a little bit of dust out there, trying to get his quad back up there to 2, 1, 0. There comes the bell, and he's back up into the air. So he'll finish his race. Mr. Geek FPV finishes. So Hazardfpv finishing through the gate after Mr. Geek, but he has 2 laps up on Mr. Geek, so that will give him his 10 points for that one. So FPVSlacker still making his way around the track here. We'll join his feed here. So he was just moving along, minding his own business, and all of a sudden a quad comes down on him and knocks into him. That is one resilient quad. It barely moved, and just there you saw him take a little bit of a dip and bounced off the ground a couple times. He's back up into the air and still persevering. And I think that kind of did the trick on the camera. Maybe I see a little color coming into the picture here now. So a couple more knocks into the ground, we might have full color. Here it comes around now into the back gate. I'm not sure what they call them still. There's the hurdle, the backwards hurdle. And on through the start gate, FPVSlacker finishes his race there and adds points to his totals. So the end of round 4, heat number 2 is Hazardfpv with 5 laps. Pretty impressive feat as he's going backwards through the track. So pretty quick adaptation on that. MrGeekFPV now not able to complete his perfect day. However, he does add a nice 6-point bonus to his day there. Second place, 3 laps, 2:05.817. FPVSlacker finishes the race also to add 4 points to his day with 2 laps there. Taking a look at the race day standings now, MrGeekFPV widening it out by a bit there. 36 points to the next FPV Free and AK Sumner at 22, so a 14-point lead for MrGeekFPV. FPV Maverick there in third place for the time being at 20 points. So season standings, the way that turned out right there, the fight between danboymanboy and MrGeekFPV, the gap indeed does continue to close. MrGeekFPV now within 12 points of danboymanboy on the season. AK Honky able to extend to finally move ahead there with a 6-point lap there. On his last one, he's at 266, and FPV Maverick there in fourth at 260.